y'all. Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 2 of Let's Talk More About It. We have our guests here. I'll let Abel introduce them.
Yep. You know, it's Abel. You already know. Talk More About It. We back Episode 2 for Season 2. We got two special guests here today. We got DJ Schemes. You already know from DMV.
Yo, what up?
And then we got Q as well here, female artist and content creator. We're going to get them to do their own introduction a little bit later. We're going to introduce the show. You know, we're back with a new season. We have a couple of special guests this year. And then we got, so every episode we're going to be doing it at a different location. Most of the places are going to be black-owned businesses. Today we at Home Team Focus Social Club. It's a lounge. You see my link. So anytime you guys want to book something, just hit me up. Let me just get them to do their introduction right quick. You can go first, ladies first.
Okay. So I go by the name of Kwikwi Itsu. I am a social media influencer at this point. I own my own fashion brand. It's called Illuge Swim. And I'm also a music artist as well. So, yep.
Next up, my brother DJ Schemes.
I go by the name of DJ Schemes. I DJ everywhere in the city. If you've partied there before, I'll probably DJ there. From Brooklyn, New York, been in DC about 10 plus years, and yeah, that's me.
All right, I'm gonna start off, so you guys can get a introduction of, who our guests are as well. I'm gonna ask y'all a couple questions about who y'all are, where y'all from. Let me start with you. So, kind of give us a description where you from and how you started off in the industry, and also where your work and where people can follow you and stuff at.
Yeah, so I am primarily from D.C., Maryland. I would say Maryland because when you say D.C., sometimes people get a little finicky about that. But yeah, so I'm from Prince George's County, Fort Washington. I went to high school in Leonardstown, Maryland, which no one knows where that is. But it's, you know where that is?
No, I was about
to yeah. It's in St. Mary's County, like near Solomon's Island.
Okay.
Off the grid, basically.
Yeah, you out the way.
But I also grew up in Bahamas, too. So I claim DMV, but then I also claim Bahamas as well. And then what else did you say? How did I get into
the industry?
Yep. Yeah, so I started off just doing music, but I was trying to be consistent on posting on social media. So as I began to be more consistent, brands began to reach out, and I started getting more into fashion influencing, which I was making money for brands, so I was like, I need to have my own brand. Okay. So now I have my own brand, which I said is Illuge Swim, and I am combining. I have a fashion show that I'm working on that I'm going to be doing in April, so I need to talk to you about doing an after party here.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so I'm doing a fashion show in April, and I'll be previewing or premiering my 2023 collection, and then I'll also be merging my music as well. So I'll be looking for artists to perform, and I want to not make it. It's hard to say exactly how I want to make it, but I want it to be a very eclectic, like New York street sort of vibe where we can just kind of bring that energy to the DMV. So a DJ, music artist, and then also premiering the fashion line as well. So it'll be like fashion meets music, but in a very upper echelon sort of way, though, not like a Rip the Runway sort of way.
Okay. I was going to actually ask you a little bit more about your brand as well, too. So what's the name again?
Illuge.
Okay. And then kind of describe to the audience like the style. Because I saw it on, you have swimsuits as well, too. Is it just swimsuits, or you guys got other stuff?
Yes, it's swimwear, but for 2023, we're actually going to have vacation wear as well.
Okay, that's dope. Okay.
And then we're also going to be doing a unisex T-shirt. Okay. So we're going to begin to incorporate the men as well.
Do you do designs?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do designs. Yep. I'm doing everything by myself. I'm trying to get a team together. Like, I brought on someone to be the director of operations for the fashion show. So it'll be a team that's going to be putting together the fashion show.
That's dope.
But, yeah.
Team.
And you
definitely need a team, yeah.
And then you said you also like dabble in music as well too. Like, so what kind of how would you describe your music? What genre is it? And where can they find your music as well?
Yeah, so I actually started out doing pop. So yeah, my first song, first song, I was like fist pumping. It was quite embarrassing actually. But yeah, I was definitely fist pumping. But I would say my roots are more R&B though.
R&B.
But it's funny because for my swim line, like I've been in the studio recently, and for my swim line, I actually think it's gonna be going more into like a reggaeton sort of like mixture. So I'm playing with a lot of different things. And I may or may not even release the music with the swim line because I don't want to force it. Like I've taken like a long little, I don't want to say like a break per se, but it's been a while since I put out something. So when I do, I want to make sure that it's quality and that it's not forced. But I have everything on all platforms though, Spotify, Apple Music, all that good stuff.
Okay, that's dope. Make sure you gotta check out her brand and her music as well too. Schemes, let's get to you. Just pretty much describe like how you started off DJing. DJing some people think it's like an easy thing. To be honest, it's not. I've always been behind the scenes with DJs, music shows, all that. Promoting yourself, even getting the equipment and like knowing how to do all that. It's like being DJ is pretty hard, and being consistent. Scheme's been doing it for a while. He's been doing it a lot of different locations as well too. So kind of give a description of like how you started off, and then where, like, you know, your first gig and how that felt and all that.
I mean, low key, I was probably meant to DJ because I grew up in a family of DJs. Like, my family's from Jamaica, so we're very music oriented, and I watch my dads and my uncles play out in different events, backyard parties, birthdays, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking like records area, so I'm carrying records for my family and shit like that. So I've always like literally been engulfed in it. And then once I, you know what I'm saying, went to college, I basically took that loan money that they give you when you get the loan, take the max amount or whatever the balance was.
Where'd you go college at?
West Virginia University.
Okay.
So whatever the balance was, I took that and brought my own DJ equipment. You know what I'm saying? And it just basically started from there. So I built my name in Morgantown, and I would basically travel to Frostburg State, Fairmont State, Pittsburgh, Slippery Rock. I was literally all over that area. And what I learned is that the sound of the DMV was very unique. So it was a lot of people from Baltimore, DC. That's how I got introduced to DC, go-go music, Baltimore music. And me being from New York, I was just very open to music. We always like to play everything in New York. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's hip-hop, reggae, old school, new school, whatever. So I seen how everybody was moving and reacting to this type of music. I'm like, damn, this is tight. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, against any type of music that's going to get the people partying. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I had like, my first gig was like at a bar, like a random ass bar. It was like a 50-person bar in Morgantown, and it's just like, it was so like very almost very poppy in a way. It was very poppy, and then at 12 o'clock he would like force you to play sing-alongs like Country Roads and Bon Jovi and, you know what I'm saying, all these wild ass shit. But I learned all them songs and got comfortable with playing literally everything. You know what I'm saying? So by the time I leave there, all my connections was really strong in the DMV. They fucked with me heavy, you know what I'm saying? So I just was like, all right, well, you know, open the first door for me, and I'm gonna do the rest. And the first place I came down here was Ultra Bar.
Okay.
They put me, and you know Ultra Bar is multiple floors. They put me on like,
I was about to say, what floor you on?
The highest floor, like the reggae
that
floor.
Was like the Latin night.
If somebody go up there, they go up there. It is what it is. Yeah. But it was my end, you know what I'm saying? I just worked my way down to the main floors and stuff, and I just kept pushing it. And like the consistency thing is like, even in college, like music was the only thing that kept my attention, and I felt like I could do this all the time. And I really sat in the class and was just like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put on a suit and tie and do this. I never really felt like that per se. So I just kept at it, and even though the degree sitting there collecting dust, I had like little odd end jobs here and there, just trying to figure it out and trying to see where this music is gonna take me. And once I got too busy with the music, I just left the jobs alone. So I don't think I had like a real 9 to 5 in about at least 6 to 8 years. Easily. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all music for me, and it's really a lot of word of mouth, and like you said, the consistency, so they know what they're getting every time. You know what I mean? So a lot of times I'm always booking with the same people that know what they're getting. So I book all my gigs a month out. You know what I'm saying? Same guys that's gonna book me before gonna book me again because they like the work, they like the quality. And even with the weddings and the corporate events, it's a lot of word of mouth. So that word of mouth been carrying me around a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Big thing too is like DJs are not only just, you know, about curating the scene, the vibe as well, but they also promoters too. Like if you think about it. So even like, you know, I work in a club now. When I like book DJs and stuff, I have to make sure like the DJs that have good name and that will promote, not just come in there just DJ and do whatever they gotta do. Like Schemes, he makes sure to promote. So my question is like, when it comes to being a DJ and promoting yourself, if you had to give some advice to like upcoming DJs, what are like the key tools that you kind of use as a DJ to kind of promote yourself, promote the events that you're working with, and then your brand?
I mean, it's 2023, so it's a little different from when I was coming up trying to promote heavy. But right now, the most, I would say the most effective things is still, you gotta sometimes make things personal. You gotta text people personally. You know what I'm saying? You can post your story and post on your gram and all that, but sometimes people don't really look at that joint like that. You know what I mean? I can post a picture of me looking fly and it's gonna get more views and more traction than me posting a flyer. So it's, you gotta be unique with that. So even like doing like unique reels, you maybe want to incorporate that and promoting the place that you're at. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be very strategic with it. It's actually like probably like a combination of things.
Okay.
And honestly, I at one point, maybe like a few years ago, I used to have an assistant. And she used to walk around the club and basically take people's information. You know what I'm saying? And it was just on some like, almost like email collecting. And we would give away maybe like stickers or shirts or something like that. Something to entice them or whatever case. You know, you get 20 to 50 people's information a night. It should start adding up every week. You know what I'm saying? 3 times a week, 4 times a week. So it's a long game, but once you build it, it's solid. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's dope. And this is a question I have for both of y'all. So what would y'all say would be the hardest thing that y'all went through, you know, your journey through the industry, you know, building your brand up? I'll start with you.
I would say the hardest thing is, I just think in general, like in this industry, you just have to get to the point where you don't need people's support, if that makes sense. And that's going to sound crazy, right? Because you definitely need people's support.
Nice.
But I think when I was depending on the people I knew to post me, to do this, to do that, I think that was like the toughest part, right? Because then you'll have like your close friends or whomever, you're like counting your likes and looking for people to participate. But I think I really started being successful when I stopped caring. Like when I started like doing what I felt, doing what I wanted to do, like paying attention to what people gravitated to, but really just being consistent and not looking for a response is when I actually got the response I was looking for all along.
That's dope.
So I feel like just in business in general, like even if you open up a popsicle stand, you know, it's just like, oh, you want your cousins, your aunts, and I find that the people that don't know you will support you more than the people you expect that support from. I feel like I just try to just stay true to myself, just be patient, because I feel like it comes around. Like once people see you doing what you're doing, they already see the vehicle moving, then they'll want to be a part of it. Like, you know, you can't be salty about it, right? Like, that's like the hardest part, because some people like will come around and they'll be like, oh, da da da, and I'm like, all right, like, you know, but you gotta just be positive, and you gotta know that that's the game that we're in. That's just how it is. And just be okay with that. So I think
it's like you don't gotta wait for approval. You just gotta make sure first do it yourself, and then
I take mental notes of that type of stuff.
Exactly.
I don't forget stuff like that.
Support them, but I know you're gonna support in the future.
Yeah, and you literally have to not be salty about it, right? Because you want to be like, oh, you ain't messing with me now, but now you gotta just
your
like
closest homies, friends, family, not gonna support you unless they really believe in you, and that's what makes it the salty part. Because you're like, damn, you don't really believe in me, like. And
that's the hard part. But you know what too, and not to cut you off, but it's so funny because I've seen people that might have started off and like I honestly thought they were trying. There's a person literally in the DMV that's an artist, right? And when they first started out, they've been doing this for years, and I commend the fact that they're still going, right? But when they first like started, I was just like, I kind of feel like it's trash. Honestly, it's not for me. That person's kind of killing it now, and obviously I'm not going to say the name, but that person's like doing their thing. Like they're like going out the country before, they're doing their thing. And so it's kind of like, honestly, like, does your opinion really matter? Does my opinion really matter? It's like, if you're passionate about it, this is what's in your heart, this is what you genuinely want to do, you're not doing it for the clout, you're doing it because this is what I love to do, and you just keep going and being consistent, it's like, you'll grow. Like, they talk about baby's growth, like, you know what I mean? Like, how when he started off, you can't let it discourage you.
Stunt your growth or keep you stagnant. Just keep going.
And the key thing is to just, like, take their criticism and just use it to make your brand better. That's the only way.
In the DMV, we don't like nothing unless it's really good or great. So
and sometimes we can't see it. Like, maybe you'll pop in New York, maybe you'll pop in Philly, like maybe
your style might be different.
He's from New York. He said he had love in the DMV, so he didn't go to New York and try to fight against the motherfucking system. Nah, go where you love.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm actually okay with being salty.
Yeah,
I'm okay with getting that emotion out right then and there. You know what I'm saying?
Let them know. You let them know right there.
Well, I don't have to let them know, but I'm gonna get it out for myself. I'm not gonna hold on to it, and I'm gonna take the mental note. For me, money's always the issue when you said what's the hardest thing. Because as a DJ, everybody wants to haggle you like you're not the main thing that's going on in a club, in the events. That's all the moving parts. You got no music, it's a wrap. So you go through these years of people trying to, oh yeah, you dope as shit, but they want to pay you less money. You know what I'm saying? So that's the battle you get. And a DJ's money per se doesn't really change drastically as in like a pay raise at a regular job. So you really got to know how to leverage yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I feel like I got to a point where I can leverage myself well now, but at one point in time, it's hard. You know what I'm saying?
It is hard.
Especially if like these guys are like not realistic. They want you to DJ for 5-6 hours for little to no money, and then get mad at you when you object or when you know what I'm saying? Or like, if I tell a nigga 400, don't come back and tell me 350. What the fuck are you doing with that $50?
Facts.
Just give me my extra 50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or you want an extra hour, that's an extra 100 or whatever. I'm not arguing back and forth with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. Like, I don't respect that, because if you good at what you do, whatever it is that you do, you don't want nobody to have. You want somebody to pay what you're worth. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was an issue for a while with a lot of DJs, and some people are still going through it. You know what I mean? But even like myself, like people that I've been working with forever, they still try to like shortchange. And I just like, and I tell them straight up, I say, bro, what are you doing with that $50? And if they argue me, cool, have a good night. I'm not coming.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
So I got a quick question to piggyback on that. Because there's a lot of DJs, and I think a lot of upcoming DJs deal with this too. Like, how do you kind of assess your value in terms of like that hourly? Because, you know, I see the other side as well too, like in terms of, you know, the club's budget and how much we know which DJ deserves what too. But from your end, like, how do you, from a DJ perspective, assess like how much your value is?
I mean, for me, I just feel like you can assess your value about based on, you know what I'm saying, how you're performing. That's one entity. Maybe even, well, since it's DC, the sales of bottles at the time when you're there, that's one entity, because you can see it. You know what I'm saying? Another one is maybe the people that's actually there for you. So maybe the tables you're booking, your guest list, all those things. If you're doing that consistently, that brings your value up more. You know what I'm saying? You could be a great DJ all day, every day, but it's all like, some DJs get offended when it's like, oh, you want me to be the promoter too. I think most places want you to add on to it. They don't want you to be the necessary main promoter, but book a table or two, or have 10 girls come through. Just show me that you got some people are coming for you. And it kind of appeases to whoever is controlling the venue. Like, okay, I see why I'm paying him this amount. He's bringing consistent traffic along with whatever else is coming. So I think that definitely affects it. You can't just, oh, I'm just a really good DJ and that's it. It only gets you but so far in this area. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Maybe somewhere else,
a little bit
but
different.
This area is very different.
It's definitely different from it.
So
I got last final two questions. What you about to say?
I was wondering why it's so difficult. Like,
it just is, man. It's just the way it's marked up, man.
The scene is different.
None of us had an answer.
I think I got an answer for that one. I think it's because in DMV we have a lot of different kind of vibes. Like you have, because New York, I feel like they have certain events there. It kind of all has the same kind of style, but they still do have a lot of diverse. But DC got like brunches, then you got Afrobeat stuff, then you got, it's just kind of different like aspects of stuff.
Yeah, so I think the most important part is if the DJ is bringing the crowd, because I know I go to certain spots for the DJ. I'm who's spinning. I want to hear good music. I'm not trying to go to the spot and be mad and go somewhere else. Like, so if the DJ is bringing the crowd, then yeah, he highly valued.
Actually, got honestly, this might be crazy.
Show where you going.
Some people won't be mad from me saying this, but I feel like the DJs are more important than the promoters in the DMV.
Yeah, they are.
The DJs run the shit in the scene.
Because
New York, it's the
great
promoters.
and the music is trash. Most of those people are going to be back.
Right, they're not going to come back. That's why you would think promoters and DJs would work a little bit better hand in hand on all levels, but they kind of don't. It's more like, all right, I'm gonna book you the DJ, and then throughout the night, yo, this is that person's birthday. This is what I need you to shout out. You know what I'm saying? Instead of working together like, yo, this is what we got going on. This table's about to spend this amount of money. If you get them to spend some more money, we'll make sure you're good. Like, I'm gonna let you know who the spenders are. We're trying to get them to spend a little bit more money, because they will if it's right, and I'm gonna take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Or like, yeah, we made an extra bag today, and I heard how you was hyping up everybody in this bitch. You had this shit rocking. Here goes some extra bread. I appreciate your work. It don't work like that.
It doesn't.
It don't, and it should, because them niggas making money hand over fist. I don't care what nobody says. You're a main promoter in the city. There is no more comp tables going on. They don't comp nothing no more.
Anymore as
so
much.
Even the women are paying their prices. The men are paying their prices. You got the money. Don't be greedy. It's a long game. You know what I'm saying?
It's all about working together, to be honest. Because back in the day, the promos, they had the DJs and the promoters all on one team, and they would just all kind of coordinate things. I think I seen it when I went to Atlanta. They still kind of do that with the DJs over there.
Yeah, because you got the big clubs, and there ain't no more big clubs. Once Love and all them other spots broke down, and all the big promoters stopped working together and they dispersed. That's what's like a free for all for anybody to do whatever, and then everything is spread out. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, well, if I came up under Taz and Mark and this regime, now we on our own shit. You making up your own rules for your team
Exactly.
and his team. So everybody got a different approach to shit, and it might not be right all the time. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of more competition now.
Exactly.
Definitely, because like even my OG promoter dudes, they were like, it was less now it's like it's everyone being a promoter, and anyone can be a promoter now because of social media. That's the thing. Back in the day, to be a promoter, you gotta know people. It's all about word of mouth and all that.
marketing.
Now it's just anyone can be a promoter on Instagram. You can hide behind Instagram.
Especially
Don't
in
even
this
go to a
area,
club
like,
and promote all day.
was at your school. They was at the mall. Like they knew somebody. They was
Now everyone
tapped
sees
in.
Instagram people. It's the ones behind the scenes.
And even this, so those folks still don't be bringing in the numbers, bringing in the money. People wanting to see who's spending or who gonna be performing, who hosting. Like,
Right.
it's a different game than it was when Love and all that shit.
Yeah,
was
especially
around.
in DMV. So I got last 2 questions, and we're going to move on to hot topics. So I got a question for you. So being a female in this entertainment industry, I feel like nowadays you have to kind of use your sex appeal to kind of help promote yourself, to stand out. That's what they say. That's what the, you know what I'm saying, the antic is. But I actually disagree because I know a couple of female talents that just, it's about their brand, they're cool and stuff. But some people, like a lot of female artists, and a lot of female artists that have been going viral, they kind of have to kind of use their sex appeal, except for a couple of them that have been coming out. But how do you feel about that opinion? Because I saw it on Twitter yesterday, and actually I forgot who it was. It was someone that's prominent in the entertainment industry, and they were saying like, yeah, if a female ain't got no sex appeal, then she's not gonna probably trend or like, you know, be successful in this industry nowadays, especially with this Instagram going on and all that. What's your opinion on that? You know, being a female in this industry.
I mean, that's tough because I definitely feel like I'm a sexy artist.
I feel that.
So you might be asking the wrong person. But, you know, I will say just on social media alone, like even if we talk about just like posts, right? It's like, obviously, because I'm the type of person where I have like a diverse style, so sometimes I'll wear a same outfit that you would wear, and then another time I'll have on a dress or like a bodysuit or something like that, right? And you notice that people do obviously gravitate more to a sexier post, can get 14,000 likes versus like, you know, you have, if I have on like a Travis Scott shirt and like some loose pants and some Rick Owens, it'd be like 1,000 likes, like, you know what I mean, type thing. So there's a huge difference there. But you know what's crazy is like Cardi B was talking about that. Like she was like, oh, people are like getting mad at her because there's other rap artists that might be, I can't even think of the people that she named. I'm gonna mess her name up, I'm not gonna say. But there's other rap artists that are more like cover and that are more like authentic and more, you know, in their roots and, you know, doing more like Lauryn Hill sort of like, you know, and she's like, it's the people. And I think that's true. I think it's not, it's what people are gravitating to. Like if people gravitated to the Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill type of artist, right, they will pop more. But people are gravitating more to more sexual, Ice Spice like sort of things.
Yeah, we never really twerk.
Yeah, that's what I say.
And the twerk,
I don't
the
understand
twerk
that
sort
question.
of stuff. Yeah, so I mean, I think sex definitely sells. I think people gravitate towards you being more sexual. I think that's just.
I think it's more
That's
open
just what it
nowadays
is,
too, because I feel like back in the day it wasn't as open for women to like, you know, just express themselves as well.
accepted.
Yeah, it wasn't accepted too. I feel because honestly the only female artist that was doing that back then was like Lil' Kim. Then it was Nicki, and there was not that many other female artists.
It was Foxy too.
Foxy.
Brown,
Yeah,
You got to thank OnlyFans, man. That's the reason.
actually, that's what I was gonna get to. Like,
It's
you
a
know,
lot
the
of
new wave.
stuff that happened in the real world that
Exactly.
counts for all this stuff.
I feel like,
Yeah.
and I feel like if your artist wants to have the sex appeal aspect of it, they can do that. Because if you think about the dynamics on OnlyFans basically saying to you, I can give you all the sex appeal and all this content, and you can't touch me. You're going to have to pay for it. So that's, to me, that's the same mindset. Like, if you want to be a sexy artist, go ahead. Because at the end of the day, these motherfuckers can't touch you. They can talk about you all day, and they're going to be paying attention, but they can't touch you. So if you want to do that, cool. And if you want to switch your style up and do some different type of shit too, yeah, because that's a part of you. So I don't think they should like necessarily run away from, or I don't want to be a
Especially if it's
sexy
your
artist and
personality.
label it. If it's a part of your personality and you like to look sexy, you feel good when you put on that shit,
Why
go
not?
ahead. Because at the end of the day, these motherfuckers can't touch you.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're gonna look all day. They can't touch you.
You
And
gonna bring all
that's
the
how they.
attention,
And
that's it.
that's what I love about the whole dynamic. Like at first, you know, everybody's shunning the whole OnlyFans or women making content period like that. But you're in a space where you're comfortable enough to do that stuff, and you don't have to feel insecure or be afraid that I'm in public, so somebody gonna look like being like a dancer. Dance is a different dynamic. Somebody can actually touch you or whatever. You at home and come, you know what I'm saying? You building your own little brand of follow. It's a whole different dynamic, and it's way safer.
It's way
safer.
I didn't even think about it that way. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to being authentic. I think even in Rihanna's era, and she about to perform at Super Bowl, I can't wait. But I think even in her era, you have to realize like when Rihanna was like literally the epitome of sexy. And remember, she had like no boobs, no ass.
That's true.
But she just embodied, like that was who she was. Like she was sexy. Like you know what I mean? Or we negate the fact of how sexy Beyonce is, but because she's married, like you know what I mean? We look at it different. But there's like a whole picture of her in a bed with Jay-Z with a thong on. And topless, like you know what I'm saying. So I think it's like there's certain artists out here that's like you can tell they're industry made, you can tell they're pushing sex. But then there's certain people that I feel like it's just so authentic and it's a part of their artistry, like Doja Cat. I love Doja Cat, and if she wasn't doing music, she would be in the chat room doing freaky shit because she's just a freaky motherfucker. Like you know what I mean, type of thing. So I feel like it's just about being authentic, and that's like how I try. Like sometimes, like for instance, my pants are loose today. Like I'm not showing my ass. Sometimes I'm chill like that. Like, you know what I mean? That's just what I'm feeling. But sometimes, like, I'll want to wear a bodycon dress. Like, I'll want to, like, you know what I mean? And I think it's just all about being authentically yourself. And I feel like women are so different, and everybody's sexy is different. Like, because I feel like you could be sexy with oversized clothes on. There's a certain Aaliyah, like, around the waist sort of swag to it where it's like, it's still sexy.
You know what's funny about that? She said that there's always that debate on Twitter, online about lingerie versus shorty in a big t-shirt. But niggas be like, yo, just give me the t-shirt, the big, put on the big t-shirt, baby, with the booty hanging out, and I'm cool. So it's like you said, it depends on which your sexy is.
Yeah. Depends on what fits you, and if it's real. Like if you're not, because a lot of people.
I gotta say, I don't like the. I feel like what you getting at is like a lot of these artists are coming and forcing the sex appeal.
Maybe the labels are pushing them.
Maybe the labels are pushing it.
Or they know like, okay, the world isn't going to conceive me unless I'm really. And it's like you have a lot of people that slip through the cracks, and we see the authenticity. I forgot all the way up, but we see it, and they display it on full. Like I didn't see the sexiness in Doja Cat. She was from cow.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
She was a cow, but I was like, yo, I like that she was like.
She's different.
She was bold. Yeah. She was like, I'm gonna go out here and do this, and then she just continued to dress up and do all this other stuff. There's many artists that I want to name, but I'm not. But I think it's a room for the people to not, for the women to not be show my ass twerk videos. Yeah. Like you said, it's the age of twerking. You just have to come hard with it.
This is the era where you can really be yourself
and be fly. Like if you're not fly, that's probably gonna be the only thing that not get you.
You can't force that.
Especially with these kids, they want you to be the flyest. They don't care if you're the sexiest.
But even somebody like Billie Eilish, I mean, granted that's more in the pop realm. She'll come to the Grammys with an oversized Gucci suit on. Like I just feel like this era is like. These kids are weird, man. Like you could really be yourself. Like people they're like trolling online and doing this. Like this era is just so different where it's like sex does sell, but I really believe that it's just Harry Styles. I mean, look, did y'all watch the Grammys? It's like granted he's selling sexy in his own little quirky way, but it's just like I feel like you got to be yourself. Yeah, I think authenticity is where it comes from because people can feel that.
Facts. All right, let's move on to hot topics. Before we do that, shout out to my boy Max. He gave us the Bel Air bottle. We're gonna be sponsored by Bel Air this season, so shout out to Max and Bel Air.
Hey, Max.
We definitely about to pop it in a little bit. In the meantime, we're going to move on to hot topics. You can start off with the first topic, DMV culture and direction. Kind of get their opinion on that, but we're going to start off on that.
Schemes. You've been here for some time.
Yeah.
So you've seen a lot. How would you define our culture? How would you, back then when you first came and now, the direction it's been going?
I think it's,
That's a good question.
The culture is very prideful here. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It's definitely, but in a good way. A good way. Wherever you're from, you really love where you from. It's like, and it ain't just start yesterday. It's like a history of that. And then the music on top of that, to me, the music is very energetic. You know what I'm saying? It gets the people going, and people feel very strongly about it. That's just like me. If you put me in a Jamaican party, you're gonna be like, there's no way that schemes. Because I'm losing my mind. You know what I'm saying? That's my element. That's my most comfortable element. So it's just the same thing. And it's just because DMV this, that, and third is not like necessarily like a country. You know, our country is very prideful.
Yeah.
That's what I compare it to. You know what I'm saying? And I love it to a certain point because if it was only you know, used for that same way to push the artists up at the same time,
exactly.
then it'd be different. You know what I'm saying? It would take it to a next level, like I say, but like Atlanta or Texas or Memphis, the
like
way
I
they
hear
booming.
that argument all the time, like why can't we be like this and why can't we be like that? And I was talking to my cousin about
ongoing question.
And it's this what you just said, like it's a lot of artists in the past few years that we could have stood behind that probably could have helped us become the next hub, but we too prideful to accept. Oh, they not really from here, or they live here,
or they not a part,
or they never grew up here.
Right, or they from a part that you really don't consider. I guess not hard, but respectable.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right, you don't consider that spot hood enough or whatever. It's like okay, they don't got nobody that I know on that side that's really thugging. So
I don't know what that was.
So, that's definitely like I was talking to my cousin
Maybe
about
I don't
it,
need some.
and I was just like, he from Southeast, and I'm like, y'all be quick to jump down artists' necks and throw some on the internet. Like, oh, you're not from DC, you never stood outside, you never did nothing. It's like cool, but he still got on that public stage with 100 million billion people watching him. It said DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Yeah.
He didn't just say himself and just went on and be selfish. He shouted out the whole community.
Right.
And y'all all just said no.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Every time someone gets.
So I don't know how to break that cycle. I don't know how to break that cycle, to be honest.
Until they find one of their own that they put on and they say, okay, I found him and I get the credit for it. That's what they want, the pride for.
I think with the DMV like culture now, I feel like it's definitely improving. But I feel like I got a question to pipe off that topic. Do y'all think it only like? Is that only with the music industry, or is also that with like brands and all that? Because honestly, I don't know. I only see it when it comes to music. Because when it comes to DC brands and stuff, everyone helps put on with DC brands.
Like wait for it for a minute.
For a minute,
everybody wants to be that person.
The only consistent person that's broke the barrier with that is the Museum DC.
Yes. And that's the one I was about to say.
They're the only one. Just think about any other brand before that. Has they got any kind of notoriety like they get now with Under Armour, Steph Curry, and all of them?
Actually, you're
not
right.
really.
I can't even think of one.
And they stay consistent throughout all the talk.
Yeah, you're right. Because I was gonna bring up Museum because I was about like everyone helping put on Museum, but they're literally the only brand. Damn, that's a good one.
And it was genuine. It was respectful.
And
they didn't come in this joint
I mean, G and them over there, they know what they're doing. He's always been has a strong fashion eye. Yeah. He'll tell you about that. Actually, he's a very good guy for a podcast. Like his history with fashion in New York.
We got some cooking up. We got some cooking up.
Definitely, G's mind is ridiculous, but they're going the right way. And I guess, the difference between his brand and everybody else is that it's dope. And he had the connections to land it and probably the consistency. So maybe at that time, even though other DC brands before was pretty dope, maybe they didn't have the strong, bigger outlet connections. You know what I'm saying? So it could have been that too. But they're the only one that I've known seen take it so far right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And it doesn't look like they about to stop.
Right,
so.
right. And they only got one store. They ain't even, it's one store.
One flagship.
One flagship. That's it. They ain't even expand yet.
And the thing I think they do a good job about too, and a lot of DMV people I feel like they should do it, but I feel like they're doing it a lot, is collabing, collaborating. They do it with anyone, you know what I'm saying? And they're easy to like to reach out to, and they have a couple people moving and making.
Inner city collabs or local collabs.
Right,
right. Because then you can go on and get the big names, and it's okay. I collabed with homie last month on my last collection. This one we did. Let's bring him on. It's like I seen a podcast that said that like people expect everybody to put them on and pull them up, and it's like no one's willing to get put in the same room and do what they got to do.
Yeah, and it's actually a little. Even though we talking about G and them, there's other ways to do it too. Like because Top Dollar Sweezy,
Sweezy,
he's in what store is that?
Is it the one with Pat?
Nah, not Pat. No, it's Shoe City, right? City. Same thing with who else was in Shoe City? Steve-O had got the ambassador at the time. So that's
about
E. Thank you. So that's E was popping. E's still popping.
It's still popping.
But that's a different avenue as well. That right. So that's a different avenue too. Like G and them doing their own flagship. They don't need to be nobody else's store. But then you got a brand like E or Sweezy that gets the contract and they can be in those stores. So those are probably the most prominent 3 that I see doing things consistently and differently from back then.
Nah, you're right.
Yeah.
And there wasn't, because it's crazy, because we've been even doing the platform for like 10 years, and I still can't even think of brands back in the day that is in the DMV that's still like doing their thing. So you're right, actually. So,
but it was like all day shooters, Sabiato.
Sabiato. Was Sabiato a DC brand though, or was it just DC people just wearing it?
I look at him like he's from DC. But yeah,
I feel like local brand, and those brands are still popping.
It's still a strong
just more
DC
so
brand.
like with the new generation of kids, they're not about to go spend. It's expensive. They're not about to go spend that much money on that.
But I think it
especially if
takes
it's not
a lot
hype
of money and resources, though. I think that's the thing. I think everybody's trying to. I think the hardest part that I can see is that in the DMV in general, probably everywhere, is that we're all trying to come up. We're all trying to make a name for ourselves, right? So that's just like, even for me too, right? It's like, okay, well, I'm trying to put on a fashion show, I'm trying to do these things. You're looking at venues, you're trying to pull your resources, meeting with meeting with these people, right? But it's like, at the same time, someone like even Schemes is saying, like, you know, if he's DJing for you, it's like he has a certain fee, he has a certain value. So it's like, how can you? It's like, you know, everybody's going to come up and trying to do certain things. It's like you're trying to work with people that might be more established and like networking down, networking up, and trying to do this, right? It's just like everybody can't afford to cut you a deal and say, oh, well, I'll do this for you know. So it becomes this hard thing where, you know, maybe you can barter a little bit, maybe it just becomes difficult, because it's like, I can't really give you my clothes for free, right? But then I need that promo, right? But then you also want that support. So it becomes like this difficult kind of circle. Game. Yeah, so I think it needs to be a balance of like probably like networking, a balance of like bartering, and like actually bring in that actual value, right? So if I'm gonna pay you to promote for my event, then I need to know that you're actually gonna bring people, you know what I mean, to the event, and vice versa. And so
people pay, and the next thing you know, they show up the day of the event or something.
Some janky shit.
Some janky shit.
That's the problem,
like,
though.
damn, you promised me it's gonna be all these people, and no one showed up, or you promised me all these sales, and
yeah, and with business in general, I mean, especially with a clothing line, I'm telling you, you're gonna take that L before you take a win.
Oh,
like the money you put into everything, it's like you're gonna be in the hole, and not too many people can be consistent through that. Especially, you know, you're on a come up, you're in high school, you're in college, you're trying to, you know what I mean? It's like, where are you getting this money from? Like you said, use this refund check. It's like it's hard.
DMV, when we see you slow up, when people see you slow up, they move on.
Oh yeah, as soon as you slow up, you fell off.
Yeah, you fell off. They're not trying to look back, and then when you try to come back, they be like, oh damn, he fell off. Now he's trying to make come in. It's like,
and
no,
let me tell you, I'm guilty of that.
His time to improve.
For sure.
You don't put out something for a while, you fell off. To me, we're such and such at.
I ain't gonna lie. I be doing it to some artists too.
Yeah,
that is true. People do move on DMV quickly.
He was just working on music. I know an artist right now that's been working but hasn't put out music, and it's like he's a big artist still, but some people are like, oh nah, he fell off, and I'm like, no, I just heard him record 2-3 albums worth of great music, bro.
Or he might be writing for someone.
He's probably shopping these albums out right now. Like, he don't have time to be putting music out to satisfy you. He trying to get a bag, and you worried about making sure he stay popular.
Not facts.
He got a family to feed.
Yeah.
Y'all want people to stay popular. They need money. Come on.
And I think it just to be the optics of it too. I think I've seen a lot of artists too within the DMV. They'll go to LA for a summer, or they'll do this, or you see them with this person, and you think like, oh, you about to make it, and when you don't, it's like you lose that. You stop rallying behind that person, and that's just
nobody go do their research.
Just
they just see somebody out and be like, oh, he get signed, or he doing this, and it's like he probably just wanted the vacation.
Yeah.
Like, simple as that, right?
Like, he's like just wanted
just on vacation. It's cold. I know that guy, so I'm in the right room. Just sue me. I mean,
like, what? Come on.
Yeah. Once you get on, you gotta stay. I mean, they say that too. They say sometimes people say it's hard to have a hit. They were like, no, it's easy to make a hit.
It's hard.
But once you make a hit, it's hard to be relevant.
Yeah, once
and
you
I think,
go up, it's harder to like.
Once you go up, you gotta.
And nothing
you gotta
you
keep
want
it
to
pushing.
do when you get consistent or success, it's hard to keep that.
Mm-hmm.
People expect it now. It's like you can't just put out, here you go, take that. Nah, I need something this level when you first came out.
Yep.
Let's move on to the next topic to piggyback off of the DMV current culture. I guess it's kind of be different for both of y'all. For you, out of all the DMV locations, where's like some of the places that you like to visit, or like DMV brands that you like, you wear? Just like name like 2 DMV brands or establishments that you like to go to, or that you like to work with, or something like that. And if Schemes, for you, your favorite place to like DJ at, or bring individuals out, when artists link up with you in the city, like where you take them, just or a favorite place to DJ. I think that's probably the best one.
I would say someone in terms of venues that I feel like is really doing his thing is Dre. That's his name, but he has Half Smoke in DC, and he also has like Butter Me Up. I hope I'm saying that right. But
That's a new one too, right?
Yeah,
someone's
and
telling me
that's
about
near
that.
U Street, and they're actually doing After 8, which is like a social club, and I really love like what they're doing. I love that it's Black owned. I love like what it caters to, and especially even Half Smoke. Just I remember I went there. It's like being near that Howard sort of area.
Yeah,
It just really gives like college vibes, like down south vibes. Like I really enjoy what he's doing. So shout out to him. In terms of brands, like obviously I got put on from the museum. I don't have anything from the museum, so I'm gonna have to hit up Greg. But yeah, I'm gonna have to shout out to Greg in the museum. Okay. Like I feel like they're doing their thing, and I mean obviously I'm gonna have to shout out to me, even though it's a swim line. But I'm definitely trying to create that presence in the DMV. I feel like it's a wide open lane for that. Okay. And what we're trying to do is really, I'm saying we like it's more than one person, but you know that's how you make it sound. But what I'm trying to do is really like make that like a sorority, like in for events and stuff like that, for us to even come to events. And we've done a couple events with like the models. I feel like I definitely have an eye for curating like, you know, the type of look that I want. And so it's definitely gonna give like bad bitches. I don't want to say bitches. Damn, it's bad girls, bad chicks, and
I mean, y'all will screen that.
So that's the incentive for the men, right? It's like, you know, if you go to an Illusion event or something like that, or if the Illusion models are there. Period. And then for the girls, just being a part of that. Like I always wanted to pledge. I didn't pledge. I graduated and I didn't pledge, but I wanted to, right? So to be able to, even when I was at the networking event here, it was so many girls that came up to me that was like, hey, I'm from Florida and I'm interning here, or I'm from here and there, and they want to be a part of, like, you know, they're trying to network, they're trying to meet people. So to be able to create like our own social club and have like girls, women have that little niche that they can kind of like buy into and be a part of, and like I said, have events and like do club appearances and have tables and do that sort of thing. Like I just feel like that's really going to be dope. I don't see that here, and I would just love to be that person to really curate that.
Okay, that's dope. Schemes.
Speaking of pledging, she was down Frostburg when I was down there. She seen me in the.
And it's crazy because we were talking about that because she was like,
Yeah.
I know
I said
Schemes
that.
from. I was like,
I went to
I didn't know
Virginia.
you went to West Virginia. I was
Yeah,
like,
see me in the.
Well, I went
when
to Frostburg, but I remember going to Morgantown.
Yeah, and I was coming to Frostburg doing all the events, and I was on my alpha shit heavy. You couldn't tell me alpha wasn't the best ever. You know what I'm saying? So
I can't say nothing.
that's on my young boy shit. Like we was on our shit heavy, and the alphas ran that yard, and then, you know, obviously my yard, so we always had a strong connection. But I used to frequently be in Frostburg heavy. So
shout out to all the alphas.
for me, just brand wise, obviously the museum. I love what Paddocks Dope is doing in Bowie. Eat definitely. If people, I mean, my favorite place to DJ at or to bring the people is probably Rose Bar. Everybody wants to come experience Rose Bar. It's just a different experience. I'm not sure how to fully explain it because, you know, the people that want to knock Rose Bar say, oh, it's small, this, that, and the third, and where it's popping at. And I think I figured out why people like it so much outside of who's gonna be there and this type of thing.
They have the name.
They have the name, and there's a lot of dope ass spots in the city, so people go to other spots.
That's true.
But they always want to fuck with Rose Bar. And my theory is the Coliseum theory. So back in the day when they used to do the gladiator shit, you'd have the fighters in the middle in the Coliseum, the pit. Everybody, the way it was set up, you can see everybody, see everything from where you're sitting. So I think that's the aspect in the pit of Rose Bar. You can literally see everybody. So if you pop an extra bottle, you pop an ace, I see that bad joint over there, I can literally see everything and what everybody's doing. So I think that's the niche of that area, outside of their name and who be there and all
promoters,
that. The green background, that shit make you feel like you're not even in.
I'm out like they did start that vibe.
They started that.
They was the
Green
first club
background got you feeling like you're in Miami somewhere.
And no disrespect to my home team.
You know what I'm saying? You close your eyes, you feel like you're in somewhere else in that little area.
Rose Bar just gave a different vibe.
So I like that. As far as spots that's fun, I think Focus is very fun.
Shout out to the team.
Alice is fun. Brooklyn is fun. Cause
shout out to John Alice. Alice is dope.
I've been doing these parties for so long that I think I'm at a point where I want to do fun parties. I want to be able to play whatever I want and it rock. You know what I'm saying? If I want to go Bad Bunny, if I want to go, you know what I'm saying, Vibes Cartel, whatever, Afrobeat, if I want to play go-go, whatever I want to play.
Yeah, one thing about Schemes, you are diverse. Like you play anything. To be honest,
I'm in my bag because I'm not a hater. You know what I'm saying?
You'll see who's in the crowd.
If it's gonna make you dance, I'm playing. I'm not a hater. I don't care. I've never been to, I'm from New York. Everything's about New York.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've never been like that. That's where I'm from. I love where I'm from. But the music's gonna supersede that. So if this is gonna make you dance, I'm playing it. You feel me? Even if it's a TikTok joint that I have nothing to know about at all, I'm gonna play it because I know you're gonna rock to it. So that's how I always been. That's why I've been doing it for so long. I'm trying to I always try to keep up with the times and stuff. So those are the venues. And I mean, honestly, as far as my favorite genre to play is definitely, obviously, reggae. You know what I'm saying? Dancehall.
Love reggae.
You know what I mean? Outside of that, low key R&B, like old school R&B, 90s R&B.
Yo,
that shit gets
that joint's coming back, right? Because you know, back in the day when I would say 10 years ago, they weren't really playing R&B. Now
I feel like it's a thing.
That's
now
because
everybody has to play Fantasia when I see you, and if you don't play it, I have attitude.
You think it's because of TikTok?
I want to sing Fantasia.
Y'all think it's because of TikTok? Because the viral joints.
DJ's been doing
Someone
this
just
for like
took
5
over
years.
me, and I want to sing say I'm just a friend. I want to sing all those songs. Like
I
that's
think
fun
we
to
just
me.
got older and was like, okay, sometimes I just get lit when I'm in the crib or the whip. I'll be blasting this,
And that's the thing too. I was gonna say now that the younger generation know about the throwback shit just because it's banging in the club now. It's getting playing
I
this.
would
So
say
now
it probably is TikTok though, because all these songs, or even the Tamia, the little chat,
that's what I was
all
saying.
these songs are coming back, and it just puts you in the mood. I'm just like,
It's and then the kids are just doing the dance. They don't even know that this joint was a crank back in the day.
Right, yeah.
You know who messed it up? The promoters messed it up in the clubs, right? I'm gonna tell you why. Because remember at one point, every club you would go to, once you do a party, the last 15, 20 minutes is R&B, slow it up, all that.
So they get ready
Got
to kick
to.
everybody
Promoters
out.
now, they want you to keep going up so they can sell more bottles that last 30 minutes.
It's true though.
It changed
That
the
shit
whole
works.
dynamic.
Let
Bro,
me tell you play Fantasia, I'm buying a bottle.
right. Ask a DJ the last time he played some R&B shit in the last 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes and see if a promoter didn't text him and yo, turn us back
Turn
up.
us off.
You know,
Yeah.
not turn us off, but turn us back up.
Yeah,
Because
turn
they
it
want to
up. Turn up.
they want to get the last 30 minutes. Because people will, and I respect that part. People really will buy a bottle the last 30 minutes.
will.
Don't give a fuck.
It be
So
don't
I
have.
get it. But sometimes you gotta let the DJ rock. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I can mess with a nigga mental. Did I not pick the right song?
Nah, facts.
If you in that mode, then cool. But promoters really be like, yo, nah, we want to turn it back up. And to me, I see all these girls singing. I want to play for the girls. I want them to keep singing. So it's like a business personal. You got to really balance that joint out. But they're the ones that fuck that whole R&B shit up.
You white got a point right there. Because
It's
I definitely remember the end of the club.
on,
niggas
every
used to
time.
It would be like
the
R.
lights
Kelly
come
and
on.
I'm not going
and
home
then
with
the
that
R&B,
R&B
you like,
playing.
damn, it's time to go. Like, what time is
And I'm not gonna lie to you.
I feel like R. Kelly
I've been in
messed that up
corporate
too,
when
though.
I told a DJ last
For
minute.
real. It used to be R. Kelly at the end. At the end,
Listen.
it was R. Kelly
It was-
time,
it
and
was-
we not feeling you, boy.
Yeah.
Nah, facts. I'll be the dying
I
down,
don't
close
want to
out.
sing to that.
Nah, you're right though. I
Now
can't
they
even
be like, yeah, we trying to
tell
turn
you.
you up until you fall stumbling out the door.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
But
Please don't let
Don't
me
let it be a
go.
theme night. They be okay, baby, turned up.
That's
last
funny.
hot topic we about to talk about is the label thing. So I'll let Tavon kind of give a
yeah.
description. I don't know if y'all
I
heard
seen
about
the,
the LVRN.
LVRN and QC deals they just made. What
They
y'all think
sold
about?
so
Michael
far.
Jackson estate. They talking about
Yeah.
selling half of theirs.
So what's y'all opinion on what's y'all opinion on labels or brands I wouldn't say selling out, but selling a percentage of rights to your company or your label to get more money so you can help put on more of your individuals. What do y'all think about that? And
wanna go first?
and if y'all were in that place, would y'all do that? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I would say we gotta have our eyes open because some things are happening that we don't know about. I definitely think that what it's really showing, because a lot of people are selling. I think Justin Bieber sold his too, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of people are selling their music or their rights to their music or their catalogs or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I really feel like something's definitely happening that we're probably gonna catch wind of a little bit later. I'm not really on the inside to really know. But I also feel like that's a true telltale sign to the depreciation of music and its value. That they feel that maybe they can sell it now. Maybe they're seeing something like a decline on actual, because I know now too with artists it's like you gotta push TikTok, Coi Leray, all those other people, you have to push TikTok, you have to do all these other things, and maybe the value of the actual streams in the music is depreciating. So maybe that's how they're getting like selling your stock or something. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I
seen
mean?
a lot
But
of people
I
saying
don't
QC
really
was
know
falling
them.
off, so that's why they did.
Oh, I don't think they're.
But it
I
makes-
definitely don't
it
think they're
makes no
falling
Now
off.
that I think about it, what if everybody's selling their shit because they took such a L from COVID for the last 2 years?
So they need to recoup,
They got to recoup.
and
That's
they need
true.
money. To
What if
continue
that's
paying
one
these
angle?
artists. That's one.
That's one angle
And
of
the
it.
sharks are smelling that, and they're like, all right, it's
Right.
my time to like kind of
Right.
monopolize
Yeah.
it.
They trying to get back.
That could be one thing. I mean, personally, I don't know why they was like QC selling for 300 million. 300 million is a lot of money, but if I'm selling to you for 300 million, then I guess in the back of my mind, the value of our company might be 600 million, low key, or more. So it's very interesting to see everybody do it, and I don't know the reason because I haven't really done my research, and I don't know if I would personally do it unless I'm like Jay-Z selling a stake of Juice for 750 million because I got all these other businesses going on. So it's not my only entity. And not saying the QC is their only entity, but it wasn't one of their main ones. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's got to make sense for me if I have multiple things clicking and it's not my main thing. If this is my baby, I'm hesitant. And the only reason I can see myself selling my baby, the thing that it's all I know damn near, and it helped me open up for other businesses, is if I took a L, I'm down bad, or I'm gonna use this 300 to make a crazy
flip.
movement from that, which I don't know what would it be, but that's the only thing I can think of. It's scary to see all these people doing it because it's like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
But
We really
think about
don't know.
this, though, not to cut
Like
you
what?
off, but I just had a brain light bulb go off. What if Tory Lanez would have sold his catalog before the Megan Thee Stallion situation?
'Cause he had
You
an
think
offer.
about the value of his catalog
time.
is way lower now, right? Like after the
course.
situation.
That'd have been crazy.
So if he would have sold it prior, remember Tory Quarantine Radio,
Or got a podcast, or got a contract
You
to the
see what I'm
quarantine
saying?
radio.
Yeah,
That
it
then
would
you
be
see what I'm saying.
different.
So
Spotify or
now
some
his
shit.
value is not the
Still
same as
been
what
the
it would
owner
have
and
been.
just had different hosts.
Or how about if R. Kelly would have sold his stuff, his catalog
Right. So
before
that's-
Right,
this
that's
before the
another
whole
situation?
shit.
I feel
So
like they
what
would have
if-
blocked them though. Like, you know, I don't know. I feel like the government probably been like, that'd be kind of sketchy if they
Government
did that
block
too. Them from doing that kind of stuff, even though.
But what I'm saying
like,
is it brings the idea of the value changing. You know what I mean? It's like your value, Tory Lanez's value 2-3 years from now before that situation
Right. Oh, you're saying even before
his
even that
catalog has
situation
now
happened? Yeah, way
differentiated.
before, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is what I'm
So it's like
saying.
QC
Yeah.
could be like right
So,
here.
like,
I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
But I don't think he would have probably thought in his head, like, you know what I'm saying? He
We're
probably.
not staying.
granted,
like,
he didn't,
yeah.
but what I'm saying is the idea of, we have like obviously cancel culture, we have all these things, like the idea of, even if you were gambling, right? It's like, oh, I just won 100,000. Like, are you gonna pull out now, or are you gonna risk losing it? So it's just like, I feel like it could have something to
It
do
could
with
be a smart
that.
move.
I don't know.
A lot of big companies.
It could be a smart move.
A lot of corporate companies actually do that. Like they will give their percentage to a bigger company just for a safe threshold to kind of like give them leverage as well. Because I don't think they still have rights to their company. It's not like they get majority.
It's not
Yeah.
his company.
I think it's more of
still
just
QC owned by Pew. I said Pew by Q and P. But
They might be trying to expand too. So.
Yeah.
But nah,
You just never know.
That's a hot take though.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna play a quick game, which we always do with our guests.
There you
So I'm gonna just say a word, and then you guys kind of come up with whatever comes to your mind first. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Lord
It's
Jesus.
different.
wake me up.
TV shows.
Martin.
Okay.
Oh, I actually think BMF right now. I'm watching BMF.
Okay. Yeah, I'm watching that too.
Okay.
That's
I thought you
dope.
talking about classics.
He just said what comes to mind.
Yeah, what comes to
Right.
mind? Whatever
Right.
comes to your mind. Vacation.
You said,
Vacation.
I thought you said vacation. Lord.
Came to your mind.
Jamaica.
Jamaica, even though that's home.
I was
I actually think it's kind of overrated, but Tulum is a vibe.
Tulum's always a vibe.
Mexico,
Tulum is always
yeah.
don't
I
believe that. Don't
yeah,
believe the internet. man.
Don't let people tell you, oh, too many people going there. It's always a vibe.
Yeah.
About to do that with Ghana.
You want to think of
Always.
something that's gonna make you sound like really bad and bougie, but I'm like, nah,
Nah,
Tulum,
Tulum was always a
Tulum's
vibe.
Man, I
He
like the
said Jamaica.
aesthetic.
Jamaica's
Yeah.
the.
I've actually never been to Jamaica.
Get
That's
outta here.
crazy, yeah.
Jamaica's a good spot to
Crazy.
go visit.
Nah, you
I
gotta
wanna
go.
go, yeah.
You gotta go like this year. Like,
I'm
no,
about to
no
go
funny.
before the next 2 years. Because
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
lit right now. I see going over there.
I want to go, yeah.
Female MC.
Lil Kim.
You're so vintage right now. Honestly, who I love right now?
Lola Brooke.
Lola Brooke.
She repping New York. Though.
I
like that.
Heavy.
I like that.
It never gets old. When she does it a cappella before the beat drops, never. I'm on TikTok a living. I need to see her live. And I love Glorilla too.
Glorilla is-
yeah,
yeah.
Lola
Songs
Brooke
is
and
Lola Brooke,
Glorilla.
yeah.
Facts.
Lola Brooke, she probably has that one.
I know she has more, but I just want to know.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I
she
know
has
the
more, but
one.
I'm like, what? other
else she
songs
got?
do people
Like
know?
Glorilla she got her.
But it's the energy though.
Glorilla's album was fire.
The
I was
album, man,
talking
about
about
the
Lola.
project. Oh, Lola talking about.
Yeah, Lola,
I
she
wanted to
got
see
that
if like
energy.
people knew her other music.
It don't even.
I'm
I
just
don't
getting
care.
hip to her.
They just want to
I
hear.
I like her
care.
energy. She got
Nobody
that
was
real
caring
need.
for Glorilla other music other than
After that,
FNF.
yeah.
That's it.
She had like 2 other hits. They was like, we don't care.
I think Lola better than what's up?
that's crazy.
What's her name? Oh, Ice Spice.
We're not gonna compare none of them.
Ice Spice.
I don't know if she's necessarily better.
Ice
Because
Spice
if you
got that new song
Ice
now.
Spice
It's kind of
if you listen to Ice Spice got some lyrics to it. You just got to
She
pay
does.
That
attention.
got
album
Lil
was
too.
fire.
You got her little six.
I'm still.
her
I'm a
six-track
critic.
joint.
I'm still waiting to see
It's-
like
nah,
if she
she
It
verifies.
deserved
fine.
the hype
Yeah.
that it got.
Yeah.
Like I had to go back and listen to it. I'm like,
She got
oh,
some shit to
alright,
her.
like
She definitely got some
can
shit
put
to
her
her.
It's
shit
crazy
together. Like,
'cause-
I thought it was gonna be TikTokers.
Yeah.
Before she blew up, she actually came to Focus Brunch on some random thing, and my
Really?
host,
She was
came
a
to
up-and-coming
Ice
artist.
Spice.
Ice Spice.
Yeah, and
Did she have a little hair?
Yeah, she did,
Little
but I
hair?
didn't know who she was. My host kept saying, "Oh, that's an artist." I'm like, "Who is she?" And then that was before the Munch song blew up.
Okay.
And then like 2 weeks later, that joint was going viral, and I was like, "Oh, damn, that's crazy."
You try to book her?
Nah, we did it after that. Because I was like,
They
I
said
know her
prices
fees
went
probably
up.
like 200 or something at that
Yeah.
point. I was like, I
Price
wish
went
we
up.
got her like
Fees were
right.
when I
cheaper
talk.
though, because
Yeah.
they talk about
Yeah.
people were talking about how she did like no showed for all these bookings she had because
her
her
shit
fee
put-
went
your
up.
brand
They said
went
they
up.
booked her for like
She's like, fuck it, y'all
$500
gonna take this L because I'm not.
Damn, so
I'm
if
not
I
coming
even
in.
booked her, she probably
She
think
Yeah,
probably
she
would've-
would've-
you
she
wouldn't have liked her for
She'd have been
real.
like.
But Camouflage though, I can't remember where he's from, but Camouflage, the one that got killed, he has a daughter. Her name is Flauget or Flage.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think I
Shout out to
saw
Flage,
She is actually-
LSU, Big
she
Foe.
was, oh, you know her?
Yeah, that's
she
my
was
dog.
on what's that show that Mulatto was on? Mulatto?
Growing up,
Oh,
The
something.
hip hop
With,
and
Jermaine
she was a
Dupri.
little
Yeah.
kid,
Yeah.
but now it was this audition of her on America's Got Talent, and she did this rendition of like this Lauryn Hill song.
Oh, I saw that. That was
I
her.
literally felt misty eyed.
I saw that
Like,
joint.
I
Yeah.
don't know about the film. You can make me dance, make me cry.
I think she
don't
just
care about nothing else.
performed at the Grammys or something.
Did she?
I saw the American.
She
Got
had an
Talent.
I-95 performance. Freestyle that she
she-
killed.
The bars joint, right? Yeah.
I'm
Shout out to
telling
Bari
you,
for that. You
She
know
be
what I'm saying?
saying that
I-95.
meaningful. I was like, oh Lord, she talk about her dad got killed when the mom was pregnant and the way she
Yeah,
just
I
be.
saw that on
I was
Instagram.
like,
It was
damn,
going viral. I
like,
didn't know the background about that. That's dope though.
Yeah,
You might have to
yeah,
tap
yeah.
in to get her on the interview. That'd be dope.
Nah, seriously. And she plays like basketball and stuff. I think she's like 19, 18.
Oh, yeah, that's
She
she coming up.
4 or 5
she
years now.
she doing her
It's
thing.
crazy.
She doing her thing.
Last one. Black owned business.
That comes to mind.
Yeah. First thing.
Stop smacking.
I like Stop Smacking.
There's a smoothie spot in, I want to say it's in Clinton. I think it's called Spizzy.
I was gonna say turning natural down the street.
Yeah, I want to
Spizzy?
say Spizzy. That's the first thing to come to mind. I want to say it's Spizzy. The reason why is because I just randomly went there and I really liked it, and I thought the smoothies were really good, and it was like some young guys that got together to like, come and do, and I was just like, man, that's what's up.
I'm about to ask you, like, what you doing out in Clinton? Because there's no reason for me to be in Clinton ever.
Oh, I live in Clinton.
Oh, you live in
Well,
Clinton?
damn near.
Oh, that makes sense.
Well, I live
Up
at
there.
Marrow
Up
now,
Marrow.
but
Oh.
That's all.
no, I mean,
It's busy. Okay. If I'm ever in Clinton,
I had to check
Go
that
check
one
that
out.
out.
Definitely check out those spots.
Yeah.
they got
You feel like
I
taking
love
a
when people
trip.
are about that holistic, like, you know what I mean,
that's
like
the
bringing
vibe
that,
they got.
yeah, bringing that to the Black
I was gonna say
community.
the scene.
All right, we're gonna start wrapping it up. So pretty
Oh
much
no,
we
this
always,
was fun.
you know what I'm saying. But we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna hear about y'all upcoming projects right quick, just like anything y'all got upcoming, and then last things too. I always try to do this at the end. Any advice y'all have for anyone that would be in y'all place, like someone that start a woman that's starting a clothing brand, or like trying to get into music and upcoming DJ. One like really good advice that you would give them, and then just kind of any projects that y'all got coming up, and then shout out your Instagram and where people can find you. You can go first, ladies first.
Me first. You said upcoming projects. Yeah, so upcoming for me is my fashion show. It's gonna be in April. I have a link in my bio where you can sign up to receive an invitation. Definitely, obviously predicting to sell out. So if you are interested, it's gonna be an invite only sort of situation, and it will be ticket based. So there's
It's in
that.
DC?
It's gonna be in DC. Yes. So there's that. You can find me on Instagram. All social media is QUI_TZU. And that's Kwikwi Itzu. In terms of advice, I would say be yourself, be true to yourself, be consistent, and have a plan for what you want to do, and just stay true to the plans that you set for yourself. And what else did you ask me?
It's where people can find you. Instagram, website.
That. Yeah, that's Instagram. Yep.
You did everything.
Website. Mm-hmm.
Any last minute shout outs?
Yeah. Okay, so website is QUITZU.com. And then also AlugeSwim.com, and that's ALUJSWIM.com. And
any shout outs for anyone, family, people that helped you with your brand?
No, I don't have any shout outs. It's like, no. But no, honestly, as much as I talk about don't worry about your friends and their support, I actually do have a really supportive friend group. And so shout outs to them. I guess we can shout out to Frostburg because we mentioned Frostburg. I actually graduated from Bowie State though. Okay. So shout out to Bowie, even though I didn't know anybody at Bowie.
Didn't know that. Graduated from Bowie.
Yep, I graduated from Bowie. Shout out to Bowie.
And all up and down.
And yeah, I've been everywhere.
That's dope. Appreciate you.
That's all I got for y'all today.
DJ Schemes on all social media platforms, djschemes.com. My advice to somebody that's trying to be a DJ, don't. No, I'm just kidding.
Jeez.
I mean, it just to me, a lot of people approach me and say they want to be DJs and things like that, and they never really follow through, which is crazy because they so adamant that they really want to learn. So shout out to my man running back Jack. I taught him for like a year, and now he's doing pretty well and all over the city. But I say that to say this: take the craft serious. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to do it, put the time in, because there's no shortcut for the time, because on the technical side, you got to learn everything. You got to learn technical, and then on the other side, it's the hustle side. You got to really want it. You know what I'm saying? People, I mean, you can go ahead and try to jump in the fight. Oh, I know Abel, so Abel going to get me in focus. But as soon as you stink it up, am I really going to want to bring you back? So you got to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? You got to be very prepared. So I just say, take the craft serious more than anything. Who would I want to shout out? Shout out my pops, because he gave me this ability. But I watched my moms grow up and like party and then go to work the next day like it's nothing. Like, so they always been like able to do that. I don't know how them two
is wired
different, just wired different. You know what I'm saying? So, but music was just always very strong in our lives, and like there's certain songs, there's certain genres that always hit me. Like when I'm cleaning up in the house, I got slow reggae playing. I got 90s playing, because my sister had the whole Mary J. Blige CD book, and I stole it from her. And I got, like, there's certain things that's gonna touch me a different way. Facts. As far as music wise, because it's just always been around. It's like breathing for me. So shout out to the people that was around you, that influenced you, and you didn't even know it. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So definitely shout out to them, and shout out to the podcast. Appreciate y'all. You know what I mean?
Shout out to the podcast. Thank you for having us.
Glad y'all.
Oh, shout out to my moms too. When you shouted out your mom, I feel I love my mom. My mom was here at the networking event. Yeah, my mom, like, she's literally with the stuff. Like, my mom is 51 and she looks so good.
You got the mom manager.
People be trying to talk
Nah,
about
for real. She go get all the bottles.
Mama gotta have a life too.
My mom looks good.
That's dope.
But yeah, no, definitely shout out to my mom. And like, on a serious note, I'm being really jokey, but shout out to everyone that has helped me with Illuge though, because I have had like help along the way with just like logo and like branding and just, the models that helped me. Like, I like reached out to models online that did not know me from anything, and they came out and I didn't even have I had nothing. Like, I reached out to them and was like, hey, I know you don't know me. I have a swim line that I'm about to come out with. I don't have any pictures, because your picture is going to be the first picture. But like, if you can just F with me, like, I promise, like, it's
Sometimes
gonna be
you gotta
fire.
be honest.
That's
You
the
keep it real with them.
Girl,
Yeah.
I was just so for real. I'm like, I have you don't come to someone with nothing.
Right.
I had
Sometimes-
nothing. I had nothing, and just based on what I've built on social media or whatever you want to call it, they were like, okay, these girls met me in Navy Yard at a boat. It looked sketchy, like I was gonna kidnap them. Because if you ever been to the marina, like near the Navy Yard, it's like down. It's
low cut.
It's low
Low key over there.
And so
Creeper corner.
you could tell that some of them were nervous. Like, they were like, oh, I don't know if I'm at the right place. I'm like, it's okay. And then I was walking them, and it was like so many guys like outside, because it's like this little boat club. So they're all just outside being hella thirsty, just like looking at all the girls eating their food. And so I had to like walk them to the boat and then go get the next, because I'm like doing a one-man show here. Go get the next girl that's lost. So it definitely gave, I'm telling you, like, it could have got really creepy.
Some real support.
But they did it, and I just appreciate the people that, like I said, have supported the brand, knowing nothing, like going into it just off the strength and just like taking a chance. And so many people have, and I'm really thankful of that. As much as I talk about not getting support, I have recently been getting a lot of support, and I do appreciate that. So
I forgot about my upcoming projects.
Yeah. Where you about to be at?
I mean, I got the regular stuff going on as far as club wise, but I've been producing a lot, so I've been working with other producers, trying to get placements and get better at that. And I'm hoping, Lord, God willing, we're gonna do kind of like almost like a mini tour, because I got a date set up in Toronto. Somebody's trying to book me for Ghana this year for Ghana Independence.
I told you Ghana's going.
So we got to. So I low key want to do it, and then JR and them just opened up a spot in Jamaica, a venue in Jamaica. So I'm just like, it's probably gonna be like a little mini tour, maybe like 6 different spots, but out of the country. I got a DJ in Tulum that got me locked in, then Cancun and stuff. So. Just trying to take it up another level, you know what I'm saying? So just turn it into like a little mini tour, and then just do the branding and content behind it as we go to these different countries. So yeah, that's probably like my main focus outside of producing.
That's a bet. Yeah, I'm actually hit you up. We actually trying to put together our own tour too. So we might definitely try to work with a couple of DJs. So we definitely gonna lock in with them too. But I appreciate you guys for both coming out. Definitely follow them on their page. They're both doing dope stuff in the industry. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Talk more about it. We back season 2. You can follow us on Instagram at MO Boombox, Twitter.
I felt like we would have kept talking.
LinkedIn, all that. Shout out to my boy Tavon. Shout out to y'all behind the camera and stuff. And shout out to the rest of the team. And then stay tuned next week. We're going to be at a different location, a black-owned business. We'll have that flyer out for you soon. And then this episode is going to be dropping next week. Appreciate you guys. And that's it. All right. It's a wrap.
Salute.
Hey, it's Girl Kwikwi Itsu. You can follow me on Instagram and all social media platforms, QUI_TZU, and I'm here with MO Boombox.
Yeah, you already know what it is. Your boy DJ Schemes, 93.9 WKYS in the building, and you're locked in the MO Boombox.
So bad. Instead, let me know you kept secrets. But if I cut you this deep, you'd be in pieces. You'd be in pieces. Even if I did, you would be the last up on that list. I still can't believe you did that shit. But in my heart, I still want to forgive. Came in times that we may never get back to what we used to be.